Karel, I've got the painting. I'm heading now to rendezvous with Zoya at the vault.
Great. It's good to hear. Listen, I can't really talk right now. I've got a bit of a situation here.
Any trouble?
Funny story. Remember when I said my plan is to bid on every single item?
Yeah?
Long story short, I might have ended up buying the Venus of Muravani, a lovely 25,000-year-old figurine for our coffee table. For 7 million.
You what?
I gotta go. Call you later. Victor, my man, I've got a unique but very time-sensitive business proposition to discuss with you.
Zoya, I've got the painting. I'm headed to the vault. How's everything looking on your side?
Alex, hi! Everything's totally fine. No problems at all. Smooth sailing.
That's nice to hear. Did anything noteworthy happen?
Nope. Nothing unusual.
You sure?
We encountered a situation involving 2 armed security personnel, prompting our proactive intervention. The issue has been effectively resolved, and there's no reason for concern.
Smooth. Thanks, Kepler.
Armed security is more than just a situation, Zoya. I told you first sign of trouble, you... Do I need to know?
Not really. We can debrief later. You had your task, and I had mine. I didn't want to bug you with unnecessary worries.
Okay, I trust you would have informed me if it were necessary. We can't afford you getting captured or worse. Who'd be around to crack the vault then, right?
In the unfortunate event of Miss Zoya's capture, elimination, and/or annihilation, I am prepared to provide my full professional assistance.
Kepler. Seriously? Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Okay then. So how we doing with the vault?
All done. Kepler cracked the code gate, and I handled the EM lock.
Wonderful. So are we free to proceed with the plan?
I ran seeker programs around the vault twice, just to be sure we won't get any nasty surprises when we open that door. There's a pesky beacon that keeps sending pings to who knows where at regular intervals, and I can't bypass it. So, once I turn it off, we'll have about 5 minutes until the next ping.
So the moment we open that door, we're against the clock before Luxembourg gets a whiff of something fishy.
That would be my guess, yes. So we delayed the opening until you're good to go.
At least we know what to expect. We can work with that. Well done, Zoya. And, Kepler? Your efforts are appreciated too.
Thanks!
Thank you. I am committed to making a substantial contribution to the team effort. Yay!
Okay then, now on to the next phase. Zoya, get those fireworks ready and stand by for my signal. We'll regroup at the extraction point.
Copy that. And fingers crossed that you'll find what you're looking for.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Stop right there, thief! You come to my party, steal one of my precious paintings, and top it all off by breaking into my private vault? I have to say I'm impressed. The sheer audacity of this endeavor is something to be admired.
You're pretty composed for someone who's just been robbed. One would think you'd take it more personally.
Don't be ridiculous. It's not a real party unless someone tries to steal the silverware. And let's not forget, I haven't been robbed yet. You'd still have to make it out of here alive first.
Ah, of course. Will that be a problem?
We shall see. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Hey, how about I just hand this painting back to you and we leave it at that?
Oh, no. You stole it. It's yours. You see, no one hands you anything in this world. If you want something, you've got to take it. And you did. Consider it a memento of today's events, if you will. But don't ever think about selling it. Because I will find out. And I'll have you gutted like a fish.
Thank you, I guess.
But tell me, do you even know who's depicted on this wonderful painting?
It's a robber of some kind. A famous one, I'd assume. Wait, is that Janoschik?
Haha, indeed it is. Very good, very good. He was a local highwayman from the early 18th century. Tried his luck, but his career only lasted a meager 2 years before getting caught, tortured, and finally hanged. But the details of his life are far less interesting than what became of him after. They immortalized him as a hero, a symbol for the common people, a run-of-the-mill thief, becoming an icon of fighting against social injustice. Why do you think that is?
People have always had a soft spot for idolizing the bad guys and misfits, haven't they?
Quite. Fabricating legends about rebels and crooks, and then embracing them with admiration allows you to feel like you've become a part of their narrative. And it's a real hit with the masses, especially among those who struggle to assert themselves or achieve anything remarkable in their mundane lives. Which is the very reason these leeches flocked here. Do you think a single one of them stopped to think how my wealth could rival that of megacorporations? Why bother? Just as long as they'll have some ridiculous gossip to fuel their own pitiful little soirees. But that's not your world. And we both know you're not here to steal a stupid painting or empty my vault. So, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
A ship sailed in from Venice a few days ago. There were 5 containers aboard, and 2 of them made their way here. We believe a piece of tech we're after was in one of them.
I will stop you right there. I believe you're referring to the Elika bioengineering prototype that vanished a fortnight ago. Am I correct?
So you know what I'm talking about. Do you still have it?
It was never here in the first place. Until now, I didn't even know it was supposed to have arrived on the same ship as my cargo. When a chance presented itself to slip some priceless Renaissance paintings right under Erica's nose, I didn't hesitate. I seized the opportunity and took care of the transport. You see, the kind of tech you speak of is not exactly my forte. Hence, I won't be able to offer much aid in this matter.
And why should I trust you? For all I know, you might have already fenced it away.
You'd do best not to trust anyone in this line of work. But I have nothing to gain from lying to you. If my intent was to cause you harm, there'd be far easier ways to achieve it.
Okay then, so what's going to happen now? Do we chalk it up as an honest mistake and I can go my way?
Let's see. I must say you seem like an interesting and capable person, Miss...
Alexandra.
Pleasure to meet you. However, I can't just let you walk away with my belongings. The insurance company wouldn't take kindly to that. But I don't see a reason to cause you any more trouble. There's a concealed passage that'll lead you to the river. I'm certain you're familiar with the way already. Security is rather light at the moment, a challenge you can easily handle.
Just like that?
Indeed. However, a time may come when I'll call upon you to return the favor. And on that day, you better make sure you're within reach.
Of course. You can never have too many knives to your throat.
Quite. Thank you for your company. It has been rather entertaining. Oh, and please, do enjoy the painting. Before we part ways, one more thing. Should you ever entertain the idea of stealing from me again, I'll make sure you and your friends take a swim in the river. with all your limbs broken. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other guests to attend to. Bon voyage.
The highlight of the week was undoubtedly yesterday's gala evening at the castle, hosted by none other than Maximilian Luxembourg. Art enthusiasts were thrilled by the exhibition, while the garden party, culminating in spectacular fireworks, hosted some of the most influential and prominent figures of Viscosity.
You wanted to see me, Colonel?
Yes, Major. I want to discuss several security incidents that have been recently brought to my attention.
Could you be more specific, Colonel? We have indeed observed increased gang activity in the Enrio port, but the situation is well under control. Besides this, I'm not aware of any anomalies in our standard operations.
Standard operations, you say? Well, let's see. Highly confidential proprietary technology was stolen right under our noses, threatening our ongoing contracts with Cyril Nanotech. Next on the list, we have a major breach and data theft at the Yggdrasil Secure Data Center. Ever wonder why they call it secured, Major? And whose responsibility is it to make sure it stays that way? And of course, let's not forget about yesterday's grand gala. Despite Mr. Luxembourg's claim to the contrary, there was evidently a major disturbance below deck, and it's becoming a pattern that our intelligence is being left in the dark.
Colonel, if I may, these isolated incidences are in line with the typical activities observed in the region. We are conducting a thorough investigation, and will make the necessary adjustments to our operations.
Well, Major, these typical activities, as you call them, are significantly damaging our reputation. They make us look incompetent and weak, leading our clients to question our ability to provide a quality service. And it's my job to look for patterns where others like you might see isolated incidents. And I believe I see one emerging. Which brings me to why I called you.
Yes, ma'am?
I need you to provide me with all the security records, surveillance footage, and data associated with these incidents. I'll look into it personally.
With all due respect, the situation hardly warrants...
I wasn't asking, Major.
Understood. Right away, Colonel.
Ah, shit. I mean, it was always going to be a long shot, but I really thought that stupid prototype was going to be there.
Which leaves us with Mechanica as our only lead. Let's just hope this won't turn out to be another dead end.
Yeah, I hear you. But I got the feeling we're onto something here. Though I really hoped we could avoid going up against these particular bastards. I mean, stealing from Maxi was crazy enough, but messing with Mechanica... that's as close to a death wish as it gets.
Comes with the job, right?
I'm afraid so. While we're at it, I still need to tie up some loose ends from my last gig. Hit up the buyer about the painting.
Yeah, about that painting. Maxi made it very clear he'd be pretty upset if we decided to sell it. I believe gutting me like a fish was mentioned.
I'm telling you, all this artsy junk is nothing but trouble. Good thing I made a bit of pocket money selling that Venus thing, eh? Yeah, poor Victor. Okay, I guess we're keeping the painting then. At least for the time being. I'll deal with the buyer.
You know, I was thinking, what if this all goes south?
You mean, if it turns out to be another wild goose chase?
Yeah, it's our last shot. What if this whole hunt for the containers was a stupid idea from the start? The clock's ticking, and maybe we're just searching in all the wrong places.
Well, I was skeptical myself at first. And let's be real, this gig is far from straightforward. But I got the feeling in my bones that we're on the right track. And I swear to God I am ready to be finally done with this thing. Damn, I can already see myself spending all that money.
Don't we all?
But seriously, Sasha, let's concentrate on the next run. Give it our best, and then we'll see where we stand.
Guess you're right.
I usually am.
What's the big deal with Mechanica anyway? I mean, they're just some heavy industry company, right?
Oh, no. They are the heavy industry company. How many corpos dealing in this stuff do you know?
Not that many, really.
Exactly. Mechanica pretty much runs their show around here in mining, chemicals, metals, heavy machinery, you name it. And it's not by accident. In the past 2 decades, they've either swallowed up or crushed all the competition. They're old money and bad news. On top of that, they're still into some Cold War era practices, if you catch my meaning. And luckily for us, that also means their data grid and security isn't exactly cutting edge.
Well, I guess I need to get a little shut-eye first. Who'd have thought that a fancy gala evening could be this stressful?
Let's do it again someday, huh? Maybe in 100 years?
Too soon. Hey, Cap.
Good evening to you, Alexandra. I suspect you're here to debrief, evaluate our past mission, and offer your feedback on its various aspects.
Yeah, something like that. Good job getting us into that vault, even though it was a complete waste of time.
I appreciate your evaluation. However, Ms. Zoya played a pivotal role in overcoming the vault's locking mechanisms, particularly in light of my physical limitations. Regarding the mission, its classification as a complete waste of time is inaccurate. It provided both entertainment and positive stimulation, and resulted in the elimination of 50% of the suspected prototype locations, and contributed to the reinforcement of team dynamics and cohesion.
Right. Maybe the real score was the friendship we found along the way.
I trust that with time, I will improve my ability to discern between genuine positivity and sarcasm.
So now that we've used the codebreaker, what's your next move? Aren't you going to vanish into cyberspace or whatever it is you sentient AIs do?
Firstly, that is a rather offensive stereotype. Secondly, until I achieve the transcendence to become an omnipotent digital superentity, I am temporarily committed to supporting your future endeavors as an integral part of our mutually beneficial partnership.
Yeah, sure. I might just need to have a little chat with Zoya and see if she can fine-tune your sense of humor.
She can certainly make the attempt.
By the way, do you know where Zoya is?
I believe she went to the establishment referred to as Café Bar Riviera. Apparently, the barkeep's family member required assistance with their electronic device.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay, Cap. Talk later.
If I may, Alexandra, I believe gaining a more extensive understanding of the so-called prototype and its contextual background would significantly enhance my contribution towards our primary objective.
Yeah, I guess that couldn't hurt. What do you want to know?
Let me start by summarizing what I have gathered so far. Your initial assignment involved the extraction of a classified proprietary technology referred to as the prototype from the headquarters of Alika Bioengineering situated in Venice. The mission, for reasons that remain unclear, concluded in failure, leading to your return to Istro City. The client expressed dissatisfaction and issued an ultimatum for the situation's rectification. You currently operate under the assumption that the prototype has reached the city as well as a part of an unspecified shipment and are actively searching for one of the 5 containers that may house it. Is there any additional information you would like to provide?
I'm in the dark about who the client is. I'm not even sure if I'm dealing with the actual client or just a middleman.
Is that a common practice in your line of work?
For high-risk, high-reward jobs, it's not unheard of. Clients like to keep a low profile to avoid attracting any unnecessary heat.
Would knowing the client's identity help us in any way?
Yeah, maybe. Knowing who we're dealing with could be just what we need to turn the tables. Might help us figure out a way out of this deal.
Understood.
The prototype itself is somewhat of a mystery. The client shared the basic specs, but details were pretty sparse. I don't think anyone except for the Elika engineers really has the whole picture.
Is it possible that the client also does not have complete information regarding the nature of the target?
Are you suggesting slipping them something that looks high-tech enough to make them think it's the real deal?
Yes.
They might buy it for a short while, but sooner or later they'd catch on to the ruse, which wouldn't do much to improve my situation.
Understood.
2 others were with me on the mission. They didn't make it.
Have you been able to fully verify their status? Is there a possibility that either or both of them may still be alive?
What do you think? The explosion wiped out 3 floors of that building. We did have contingency plans in case things went south, but there was no contact. I tried for days, scoured every inch of that damn city, called in every favor. If they were still alive, they'd have gotten in touch. They're gone, okay?
I apologize. It was never my intention to cause you distress. I am merely trying to explore all possibilities.
Yeah, but they're dead. You have no idea how I wish it weren't true. That's about it.
Understood. Thank you. I will do my best to use this information to assist you in this particular predicament.
Thanks, Cap. So, Zoya's been assisting your auntie with her broken console, huh?
Yeah, it's sort of a funny story. Or maybe not. Perhaps it's best not to mention it.
Now you've got to tell me that story.
Tetska was eyeing those carbon nanotube reinforced titanium frying pans on the net.
Isn't that a pretty well-known scam?
Absolutely. They attempted to hack her and swipe her personal data.
Oh.
She was using a fake ID and a stolen pay card, so it really didn't matter. Though she did end up downloading some sort of virus.
And that virus ended up damaging her device?
Not exactly. It just locked her on a site with, steamy, romantic videos.
Oh, I see. Guess your aunt must have been pretty shocked and disgusted by the whole thing.
Oh, not at all. She has been glued to that thing all day, just ignoring her work completely. And then she completely overcooked my pasta, ruined the whole thing.
Oh, Alex. Hi there.
Hey, I've been looking for you. Didn't expect to find you here.
I like this place. There's all this hustle and bustle going on, but it still feels cozy and safe somehow. Oh, and apparently you owed Mr. Yadran a favor?
Yeah, he let me crash here for a few days. But I guess there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Well, consider the debt paid. Ended up doing tech support for his auntie, I think.
Oh, thanks. And how'd it go?
Oh, well, let's just say that now you owe me.
Wanted to talk to you about our last mission.
Okay, sure. So what's the verdict? How did I do?
A lot of things could have gone wrong on this op, and quite a few of them did. But I think you handled yourself quite well. So I just wanted to say nice work back there. Wouldn't have gotten into that vault if not for you and Kep.
Aw, thanks, Alex. Means a lot.
With any luck, next time we might actually walk out with what we came for.
We still got that painting, though.
Yeah, we still got that painting. I'll need your help with the prep for the Mechanica gig. Think you're up for it?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I've already gotten started.
Oh.
Kepler pulled the latest version of the schematics for us. We're still working out some of the details of how to approach this. I tried running through some details with Karel, but honestly, he seemed a little distracted and really not too thrilled about the whole thing.
Well, none of us are, but it's not like we have much of a choice. We need to find those containers. And the longer we sit around strategizing, the greater the risk they get out of our reach entirely.
Don't worry, Alex. We'll find them. It'll be all right.
Okay then. Think I'll get back to it. See you on the ship.
Hey, Alex, would you mind sitting with me for a bit? I know we're on a tight schedule and all, but just for a little while.
Sure, why not? Something you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say how thankful I am for letting me stay with you. Really, it means a lot.
Absolutely, Zoya. You're part of the crew now, and we're lucky to have you.
Thanks. It's really cool to finally get a chance to be useful.
Listen, Zoya, I've been meaning to ask you, why do you want to do this exactly? Being a grid runner, I mean. I've known a few of them in my time, and usually it's the same story. In 5 years, you end up either a millionaire or brain dead.
Yeah, so I've heard. Also, the second option seems to be much more likely. You heard about my grandma, right? What she's like?
Well, I've heard she runs a tight ship. No one wants to get on her bad side.
Yeah, that does sound like her. But whatever you heard, the point is, she's not exactly known for being the nicest person in town.
So you're telling me the infamous Babka Cherniak isn't really just a loving grandmother?
Not really, no. She's not even my actual grandma. But she's the closest thing to family I ever had. She looks out for the orphans in the slums. She even adopted some of us. It's thanks to her I had a roof over my head and food on my plate. And when I asked for my first console, she was very supportive. When I needed a tech upgrade, she happily obliged. It took me some time till I realized those weren't exactly Christmas presents.
So, you're in Babka's pocket now?
She's running a business, not a charity. Once you're old and capable enough, you gotta start pulling your weight. Long story short, if I ever want to go my own way, I've gotta clear my bill first.
Oh. How much are we talking?
Doesn't matter. I couldn't scrape that much together in 7 lifetimes. I tinkered with payphone hacks, tried siphoning funds from small corpo accounts, but nothing really panned out. If anything, it caused even more trouble. I even worked a day job for a while. But apparently I don't have enough respect for authority.
That's hard to imagine.
Anyways, everyone was avoiding me like the plague because of my last name. So, good thing you were desperate enough to work with someone like me.
Glad we could help.
So, back to work, huh?
Yep, back to work.